Hello, people of the world.
Hello.
This is the first very exciting, all enthralling, all inspiring and motivating episode of ADWIT, the audio drama writer's independent toolkit.
Yes.
Groovy. And
hello.
Good day. And Lindsay.
Good day.
Lindsay,
Yes.
what on earth is this podcast for? Who on earth would need and yearn to listen to every single episode of this podcast?
This podcast is for people who either write audio drama or they want to learn how to write audio drama. And we're going to look at different aspects of audio drama, and we're going to look at what makes them great, what makes them useful, how they tick, how they work. And we are going to work on writing exercises that will help you play with that aspect of audio drama.
How very exciting.
Yep.
And why on earth are you interested in audio drama, Lindsay? What is it that you love
because
about
I'm an addict. I'm an addict and I can't get enough of it.
I think
we both consume a fair amount of audio drama.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like everybody else. I got really hooked on it at a young age and now I can't get enough of that stuff.
Yeah.
But I've also heard a fair amount of audio drama that's very good.
Same.
And I've heard a fair amount of audio drama that wasn't. And I want there to be more good audio experiences in the world for people to enjoy and consume.
Same.
And this is my way of helping people feel empowered to grab it and run with it.
I love that.
And you and I also send out the Fiction Podcast Weekly.
We do.
Which is, if people are interested, you can look it up at thepodcasthost.com/Fiction Podcast Weekly. Mm-hmm. You can sign up. You can contribute your audio drama news, and you can subscribe. It's wonderful. And if you enjoy listening to audio drama, or if you enjoy making audio drama, please do sign up and subscribe.
Yes, do.
And this is sort of a side project for you and for me.
Yeah. Got to say, I've got about 19 side projects at the moment.
You do.
I do essentially just want to act, but also write so that I can write parts for myself.
Well, that's the thing.
Acting.
I remember having this great, I had this writing workshop with Doug Wright, who wrote Quills, among other things. He wrote Quills and he wrote I Am My Own Wife. And he's just a wonderful big bear of a genius writer. And he said, I got into writing because I didn't want anybody else to tell me, I didn't want to wait for anybody else to give me an opportunity.
Wow.
To make stories. Mm-hmm. And, when you're an actor or a designer or a director, you sort of have to, you sort of have to go, okay, well, let's find a script. If you're a writer, you can, or if you have that skill in your tool belt, then you can make stuff happen.
And as an actor, there is nothing more exciting when you know the script that you've got a part in, whether small or large or in between, is good. Oh, it just feels so exciting. Well,
it's wonderful that also when you work with a creator and that creator, that writer-actor relationship is always wonderful too.
I agree. And we can talk about that as the season of we have planned for you goes on and on. So what are we going to talk about? What can folks expect from this groovy season?
We are going to talk about some aspects of audio drama like plot, character, dialogue, and writing for sound environments.
So we'll also add to that some writing exercises to try out, right? So get you going, inspired, doing.
And what we're hoping that people will do is that they will post them on their own blog or web space and send us a link to them, not because we're going to judge you or we're going to give you a grade, but because we want to find out how our information is received on your end and if it's useful and helpful and productive.
Groovy.
For example, if I give you a recipe for a cheese sandwich and you use it to make a roasted beet salad, while I truly do like beet salad, it means I need to reevaluate how I'm presenting that recipe for a cheese sandwich.
Yes, I'm hungry now. And in the future, we will also hope to have a reading of some of the samples from people's writing exercises on the podcast, depending on how things go and what you send us.
We have a website, which is ADWIT, ADWIT.org. It's not .com. I haven't checked out .com. I'm sure it's some advertising thing.
Org is good because it's like we're organized. We're
organized.
Organic,
we're an organization.
We're all the orgs.
Yes. What do we want to do? We want to give people some tools to craft better stories for the audio drama medium or audio fiction or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Do we even want to discuss the difference between audio drama and audio fiction, in my opinion?
Well,
or do we want to, let's back off?
That's a deep well, isn't it?
That's a
whole cavernous,
all I can think of is Felix Trench's Rudyard Funn saying, "I wouldn't pull on that particular thread." Yeah.
Oh,
one of the things. Well. I'm gonna say this now. One of the things that we are going to do is we are going to discuss some currently existing audio drama podcasts and break them down and talk about them in greater detail so that we can sort of show you. We're going to use them as examples for example. Here is a great episode of a show that is a great example of how to use this plot technique. Here is a great example of a character, and we're going to show you how to make that work.
Great.
There will be some extra listening. So you might hear me and Sarah say, okay, stop everything and go listen to that now. There may be spoilers for certain episodes of certain shows, and we'll note that in the show notes. So really the reason for this is not because we want to spoil or promote particular podcasts. It's because we want to give people some tools to craft better stories for the audio drama medium.
Yes. And just learn more also about, your own writing styles and what you're kind of yearning to write too.
Yeah, that's very true. And some of this is also me and Sarah sort of looking at audio drama and saying, what are we doing? How do we do it? What's a better way to do it?
Yeah. Groovy.
This is definitely not going to be one of those podcasts where we try to sell you $1,000 writing seminar at the end. It simply is what it is.
Yes. So if people do want to send us $1,000, that's fine too. We don't mind.
Yes. But send it to us in pounds because that stretches further.
Does it though? I'm not quite sure anymore. Money confuses me, but that's another thing I need to deal with.
So I want there to be more. My selfish want is that I want there to be more good independent audio drama for my listening pleasure.
Yes.
And I want more people to be able to tell their story in a way that audiences will stick with it.
Agreed. So,
right.
Hey, so who are you to tell anyone anything about writing, Lindsay? Who are you? What is your qualifications?
I ask myself that every night.
Too.
I know. I lie there. Who am I to tell people anything? So my name is Lindsay Harris Friel. I'm Lindsay. I have a MFA, a Master of Fine Arts in Playwriting from Temple University. And, but I also have created a lot of what I think they call scratch theater now or fringe theater. They used to call it fringe theater, where you just sort of like, you find an abandoned building and start making theater in it.
Sounds glorious.
Yeah.
I wish we could do that now.
I know. Give us $1 and you can come in and see us do crazy things on stage. I did a lot of 24-hour plays, which are one of those things where people give you an idea at 8:00 on a Friday, and by 8:00 on Saturday, it's going up.
Amazing.
In front of an audience.
Love it.
Yeah. My experience with audio drama is that it was something I listened to on long car rides home from the Jersey Shore or in the library on rainy afternoons. And it was always like finding a buried treasure or a secret missive at the far back of the radio dial.
Yes.
And I got hooked on the British podcasts around probably, I want to say like 2007 or 2008 or so, back when John Oliver was on the Bugle.
Yeah.
And I heard We're Alive, and I thought, oh, I could do that.
Great show.
Yeah. And I'm sure Casey Wayland would love to hear me say, oh, yeah, I can do that.
He's
I can do that better. He's done fine. Okay. He won't mind.
Is it 1 billion downloads that show's had now?
Yeah, I know. While he's hanging out with Lawrence Fishburne.
Oh, man.
While he's in Hollywood.
Yes, did you see it's coming back? Bronzeville 2.
Bronzeville 2. I need to get caught up on Bronzeville.
Come on.
So I heard We're Alive, and I thought, oh, I can do that. So I made Yarn Socks Rising. And if you haven't heard Yarn Socks Rising, it's not spelled the way it sounds, unless you are in Scandinavia. But in any case, I also wrote Breathless.
Hooray.
and The Parsonage
Hooray.
and The Audiophile for 11th Hour Productions.
Hooray.
And my production company with my husband is 6630 Productions. And Sarah, tell me all about you.
Well, I've got an FA in playwriting.
What's an FA?
It's a slightly rude word.
Oh, never mind.
So I'm coming.
That's okay. MFA has another rude interpretation as well.
Yes. Go ahead. So I'm coming at this from the position of a voice actor loving storyteller. And so I have been in a vast array of wonderful, fun audio fiction shows since about 2015 when I started. And also I've sort of been dipping my toe more and more. I'm a huge fan of monologues. I teach kids currently various Lambda exams, including working with monologues. So I come across them in my working day so much. And so I was inspired to start my own writing, kind of kicked off with the monologues, which happened in, I think, 2019, was it, when the 50th anniversary of the moon landings, and involved lots of wonderful people across the world to voice act and write those and collated those. The Choralogues has just come out in the last year, which is monologues from lockdown. And I'm very impressed and amazed by the talent that came on to come and play with that. And I've also, very shockingly, got some beautiful funding to make Anyone for Coffee, which is my women's health podcast. I wrote the audio fiction parts for last year, which is like a hybrid of fiction and real life interview with people who are suffering various medical issues, all women, and also with medical professionals who deal with advice on where folks can get help who are suffering from these things, and places to look just to, help your mental health, essentially. So I've been sort of dipping my toe in and really enjoying the process of doing that. And on top of that, I've been I'm a doer, I guess. I love doing things, so I've created many mini writing competitions. The Dashingly Quirky 2021 competition is open now, folks, so search that up, have a look on the show notes for a link, and jump in and send us a script.
Should definitely have that in the show notes. Yes.
And that basically entails involving a judging panel of people in audio fiction who basically help us find beautiful new writing, and then so far we've been able to perform that at major events like London Podfest, the Pod UK event, the Vault Festival as well, and this year I've pitched various places, so it will hopefully be embroiled in another event too. So I love new writing. I love collaboration. I run the Audio Drama Hub virtual pubs as learning experiences, all aspects of creating fiction. I do admin sort of stuff on that and try and ping out as much fun, groovy things as I possibly can. So I just want to act, really. I love acting, and I think I'm blessed with the fact I can change my accent and play up my age, and one of those kind of chameleon type people that have had great fun so far, and hopefully continue to, and sharing all I know on Mediva podcast as well, which is my how-to
the
voice
Mediva
act
podcast is great.
Thank you. I'm enjoying that. I'm just starting out on my new interviewees for that, so I've got great array of people, including Beth Eyre and Laurie Martinez and the Booth Junkie, and oh my goodness.
Oh, you're getting the Booth Junkie.
I am so excited.
I love him.
He's amazing. So
I love him.
There's lots of beautiful advice for voice actors coming up on that, and hopefully to launch end of March, beginning of April. So I'm a busy lady with a couple of kids as well, homeschooling, and a hilariously fun husband who gives me cuddles. So life is great.
Oh, good. So actually, one of the accents I want you to learn, I keep meaning to send you, is I want you to learn the difference between a Philadelphia accent and a Pittsburgh accent.
Oh my, see, that's a challenge.
Because I think it would blow your mind.
Wow. Okay. I love that.
Yeah. They're very similar, but they're very similar. But if you got them mixed up, you could have a fist fight on your hands.
Oh la. Now, are you proper Philadelphia? Is this accent?
I am. So okay. I was born in Philadelphia. I moved around a bit, and like a lot of people in Philadelphia, I watch a lot of WHYY, which is our local NPR station. It's our public broadcasting. So I grew up with a lot of Monty Python and Doctor Who and trying really hard to lose the Philadelphia accent. But yeah, a standard Philly accent kind of sounds like this. We're going down to shore. We're going to go down to shore and we're going to go get some water ice.
Nice.
And nice. Yeah. We're going down to park.
Down to park.
So
I love it.
Yep. I'm going to go home and do my homework.
Home.
It's the weirdest accent ever.
Do my homework.
I'm going home. I'm going to go home.
HAIM. Interesting. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I'm going to learn new things on this too. Groovy.
I'll send you a video or something. Okay. So also what we want to do is we want people to be able to get in touch with us. So
you can find us on Twitter too. And we love to ping out, writing links and competitions. If you're a writer too and you want folks to know of specific opportunities, utilize us too. Copy us in, send us out. So we are ADWIT podcast on Twitter, and it would be great to have some interaction with you folks on there. And our email, Lindsay, drumroll, is...
Drumroll, okay, is...
The email address is writersadwit, that's WRITERSADWIT @gmail.com. writersadwit@gmail.com.
Okay, we're good. All right, let's get back to the notes here on Okay.
Yeah, the rest were a bit questiony, weren't they? So that is, do we want to give them something to write and do? Like, do they want to write a biog or something, the writer's biog? Do you know what I mean? I think we should, each episode, even this introductory one, should have something. Do you think?
What do you mean, like give them homework?
Yeah, if they want.
All right. For the next episode, if you are interested in listening ahead, if you want to know a little bit of what we're going to be talking about, next episode, we're going to be talking about plot. So I would strongly recommend going to thetruthpodcast.com. And listen to Can You Help Me Find My Mom?
Makes me want to cry just thinking about it.
Yeah. I got a bit teary listening to it too. Like I had to, as soon as it was done, I had to like turn it off and go do something else.
Yeah. So trigger warnings. What do we need to say to folks?
Oh, content warning for the sound of children being scared and the feeling of the possibility of losing a family member.
Yeah.
And also, maybe a content warning for children being scared. Mm-hmm. There is a child who is restrained. Yeah. So,
and I have
restrained
to say,
against their will.
It is one of my favorite podcast episodes of all time.
It's so good.
In fact, it might even be number one. I think I heard it very early on in my modern audio fiction experience of getting embroiled in the community and otherwise. And it's
so good.
Sublime. Super.
It's so good.
So thank you very much for joining us this week. It's very exciting to start these hopefully helpful writing adventures to inspire and motivate you just to do gooder. What do I mean?
Yes.
What do I mean by better English than do gooder, Lindsay? Because you're more erudite
Avanti.
than I am.
We're going onward and upward.
Super.
Exactly.
So we will see you next time on the ADWIT podcast. Ta-ta.
Excellent.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you. You have been listening to the Audio Drama Writers Independent Toolkit, hosted by Sarah Golding and Lindsay Harris Friel. Audio engineering, sound design, and music by Vincent Friel. If you enjoyed what you heard, please write a review on Podchaser or on Apple Podcasts. Or you can tweet about us. Our Twitter handle is @AdWitPodcast. Please keep in touch. You can write to us at writersadwit@gmail.com. For more information, visit our website at adwit.org. Thank you for listening. ADWIT is created and recorded on the unceded land of the Lenape Nation. To learn more about the Lenape, their history, and their culture, please visit their website at lenapenation.org. You can experience the online version of the museum exhibition, Fulfilling a Prophecy, the Past and Present of the Lenape in Pennsylvania, or you can visit the Lenape Nation Cultural Center and Trading Post in Easton, Pennsylvania. Thank you.
6630 Productions.